World War II was the deadliest conflict in history. Over 70 million people lost their lives, entire cities were destroyed, and the world was changed forever. But why did this war happen? What caused so many countries to fight each other on such a massive scale? In this video, we'll explain the key reasons behind World War II in simple terms. To understand why World War II happened, we have to go back to the end of World War I. In 1918, World War I ended with Germany and its allies losing the war. In 1919, a treaty was signed in Versailles, France, to officially end the conflict. This treaty, called the Treaty of Versailles, placed all the blame for the war on Germany. Under the treaty, Germany had to, number 1, accept full responsibility for starting the war. Number 2, pay enormous amounts of money, called reparations, to other countries. Number 3, give up land, including parts of Poland and France. Number 4, shrink its army and stop building weapons. These punishments made the German people feel angry and humiliated. They thought the treaty was unfair and blamed their government for agreeing to it. This anger and resentment would later become one of the main reasons for the rise of Adolf Hitler and the start of World War II. In the 1920s and 1930s, Germany was in deep trouble. The economy was a mess because of the huge reparations from the Treaty of Versailles. People had no jobs, and inflation was so bad that money became almost worthless. During this time, Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party rose to power. Hitler was a strong speaker who promised to make Germany great again. He blamed the country's problems on two main things. Number 1, the Treaty of Versailles. Number 2, minority groups, especially Jewish people. Hitler became the leader of Germany in 1933. Once in power, he ignored the Treaty of Versailles. He rebuilt Germany's military, created jobs, and started preparing for war. The Nazi Party controlled every part of life in Germany, spreading hateful ideas about other races and nations. This rise of Hitler was a major step toward World War II. He had big plans to take over more land, starting with Europe. While Germany was struggling, the rest of the world wasn't doing much better. In 1929, the Great Depression hit. This was a global economic crisis where millions of people lost their jobs, businesses closed, and poverty spread everywhere. Countries like the United States, Britain, and France were focused on fixing their own economies. This meant they didn't pay much attention to the dangerous things happening in Germany, Italy, and Japan. In tough times, people often look for strong leaders who promise quick solutions. That's why leaders like Adolf Hitler in Germany, Benito Mussolini in Italy, and military rulers in Japan became so popular. They promised to restore pride and power to their countries, but their plans involved war and conquest. In the years leading up to World War II, a dangerous political idea called fascism became popular in several countries. Fascism is a system where the government has total control, and the country focuses on building a strong military and expanding its territory. Fascist leaders often use fear and violence to stay in power. In Italy, Benito Mussolini came to power in 1922. He wanted to create a new Roman Empire and started taking over new land. In Japan, military leaders took control of the government. They wanted to make Japan the most powerful country in Asia. And in Germany, Adolf Hitler used fascism to take full control. Together, these countries formed what would later be called the Axis powers. They had one thing in common. They wanted more land and more power. By the 1930s, Germany, Italy, and Japan were becoming more aggressive. They started taking over land in other countries, and the rest of the world didn't do much to stop them. In 1931, Japan invaded Manchuria, a part of China, to gain resources. By 1937, Japan launched a full-scale war against China, killing millions of people. Meanwhile, Germany was breaking the rules of the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler rebuilt the German military and, in 1938, took over Austria. Later that year, Germany took control of part of Czechoslovakia called the Sudetenland. By 1939, Hitler was ready for his next move. He wanted more land in Eastern Europe, especially Poland. On September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland using a new strategy called Blitzkrieg, or lightning war. This time, Britain and France had enough. They realized Hitler wouldn't stop unless someone fought back. On September 3rd, 1939, Britain and France declared war on Germany. This was the official start of World War II. World War II changed the world forever. It's a reminder of how dangerous unchecked power and hate can be. By understanding history, we can work to prevent it from repeating. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more history videos.